Hi, welcome back to the newest video snippet from Deadly Affirmations, the video book. Remember, and you can find a link to it, look in the comments underneath this video and you can find the link to Amazon to buy a copy of this book yourself so that you can read it and keep up with Patience Murphy and Wheezy and Lee and Detective Williams anytime you want to. And follow the many murders. Wow. We're going to read the first part of chapter 15 today. So if you're ready, we'll begin. Here we go. 15. It's entitled Flow. Wheezy had lots of chores that she kept for Monday mornings. By noon, she had decided that she had had enough of those chores for the day. A little luxury that she allowed herself was her Hoffman's Market shopping cart. She had borrowed one years ago and kept it at her house between shopping trips. From time to time, when it got rusty or one of its wheels began to drag or spin around, no longer touching the ground, she would give a neighborhood kid a couple of dollars to return it to the store and bring her a replacement. It was a beautiful day, and Wheezy wanted to get a little exercise along with her shopping, so she wheeled her cart the block and a half to the neighborhood store, Calfer's Super Bodega. It was a real hole in the wall, but it was close. Wheezy used the cart as a walker. She wasn't always very steady on her feet, sciatica, you know. But she pushed the cart up and down aisles of the little store and loaded it with her shopping: a carton of milk, a box of tea bags, a box of Quaker rolled oats, 2 cans of tuna, a can of peaches, 2 cans of low-sodium chicken noodle soup, a jar of peanut butter, a bag of black beans, and a box of Uncle Bob's rice. Patience read her guide for Monday. If you ignore what your heart tells you, you ignore your true calling. If you embrace the present, you will never hold the gifts that the future has in store for you. If you trust the tides of fate, you may never know exactly what to expect, but the flow will take you where you need to be. And she read her affirmation. Life is happening in this moment. Patience thought about what the book and cards were telling her. She'd always prided herself on being open to new experiences. After all, on her vacation last year in Costa Rica, she had tried ziplining and had had a wonderful time. Years ago, before it had become popular, she had swum with dolphins in Cozumel during a memorable, except for a day or so she couldn't quite remember, but that the little red and deep blue feathered serpent Kulikan glyph tattooed on her right calf wouldn't quite let her forget. College spring break. She had hiked through the Alps the summer after she graduated and crawled through every pub in Boston. It had taken her 10 dedicated weekends when she had lived in Boston before moving to River City. So ready for a new week at work, Patience put together a cute outfit for work: a burgundy midi skirt with an adorable little belt and big pockets, a pair of brown suede ankle boots with lots of straps and chrome buckles and studs, and a thin black cotton sweater with a sterling silver Patience necklace on a thin silver chain. Pretty cute. She packed a power lunchbox, an adult-style Lunchable that she had found at Hoffman's. Packed in a little red and yellow recycled and recyclable box was the perfect quick lunch for big kids: organic Monterey Jack cheese, gluten-free crackers, non-GMO almonds, free-range veggie crisps, and crunchy trail mix. She had bought a couple of these for days she would be running late. In addition to the power lunchbox, she had also bought a super lunchbox that featured organic chickpeas and almonds, free-range veggie crisps, crunchy trail mix, non-GMO corn and flax chips, and sustainably farmed fair trade dark chocolate raisins. But she wanted to save the chickpeas for another day. Patience got to work on time, made her way to her desk, and worked on a new pile of files that the intern had deposited on her desk almost as soon as she sat down. She came up for air after a couple of hours and took a break for some coffee in the break room. Julie was there, and the two talked for a few minutes about their weekends. Julie had missed the fest, but wondered if Patience had heard about the drug addict who OD'd in his car in the fest parking lot. Patience said that she hadn't, and Julie told her at breakneck speed about how the guy had overdosed on animal tranquilizer after a gang of motorcycle guys beat him up for dating their sister. According to Julie, and Julie whispered this next part so softly and confidentially that Patience had to lean close to hear what Julie said, the motorcycle guys told the dead guy to take his pants off, and when they saw that the dead guy, Jerry Sampson, had pierced his, weenie, they were sure that he was the guy who had dated their sister. After they were finished with him, this guy Jerry was all messed up, and he crawled back into his car, filled up a needle with CPC, and overdosed. Julie said that the cops found him Sunday morning. His was the only car left in the parking lot. Patience was shocked. Julie apologized for using such graphic language, and Patience hurried back to her desk, her hand over her mouth. Julie was sure that the terrible story might make Patience throw up, so she wouldn't burst out laughing. At 12:20, Patience was thinking about lunch when her computer winked off and the lights in the office all went out. Julie walked to the middle of the desks that made up their office and announced in a loud voice that there had been an electrical malfunction and for everyone to go home. The electricians were on their way, she said, but there was no way that they would be finished with the repairs until late tonight. Go with the flow, Patience said to herself. I can do that. Patience went home, put her power lunchbox back into the fridge, drank a big glass of water, and decided to go for a run, work up an appetite, and then think about lunch. She took off her work clothes and hung them up, pulled a sports bra, a pair of socks, a pair of running pants, and a jacket from the dresser, and her running shoes from the closet, put them on, and ran out of the house, eager to get started and to see where the flow took her. She ran a couple of blocks, and way up ahead she saw Wheezy. Patience was at the far end of the block when she saw her friend, but before she could get close enough to say hi, Patience saw the bitchy Talbot's woman from the weekend walking in Wheezy's direction. The skinny, overly dressed woman saw Wheezy and headed straight for her. Patience wanted to see what would happen and ducked behind a privet hedge to eavesdrop.